Just another accomplishment, the brilliant career of Drew Brees, which continues, and I think it's safe to say he's going to pass Peyton Manning and probably end up with more than Peyton will have because Drew's going to continue to play. I'm not sure that Peyton will at the end of this year. sportsNOLAtv continues from Premier Kia of Kenner, and the New Orleans Saints went on the road to Raymond James Stadium, and they won, beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in an NFC South battle 24-17. Brees was masterful. 31 of 41, 312 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. Jameis Winston, numbers were okay, but he wasn't very sharp. And look at the total yards. Saints solid. And look at the Buccaneers' total yards. Now there's a Saints defense showing some improvement, which is what we've been looking for. And obviously, that might have been the biggest number of all to take away from this victory for the Saints was the fact that the Saints defense tackled better and played better overall. Brian, this was a significant win. Tampa Bay was still in the wild card hunt. They were coming off of a big win. They had high hopes. They've got a young team with some talent, and the Saints outplayed them.
I agree. In fact, I think it's one of the most compelling or most satisfying wins for Sean Payton in quite some time. When you think about it, they lose Mark Ingram. They've got a 4-game losing streak. They hit the road. People are down in the dumps and everything, and the defense has been much maligned all year long, Kenny. So, no, I mean, they got off the field in third down. They convert big third down plays. We know what kind of player Drew Brees is, and it's that defense that is the uncertainty every week, Kenny. And when they play that well, consistently, you know, it obviously it reflects in the kind of performance that the whole team put forth. So it's a good win, good team win.
One of the things that Tampa Bay did not do, Ricky, is they didn't get the ball to Doug Martin. He only had 11 carries in the game. He had 2 carries of over 20 yards. I thought they should have run him more.
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, coming into the ball game, I mean, he was the leading rusher and stuff for them. So I didn't understand yesterday why they didn't run it. Coach Payton thought he was going to run the ball. That's the first thing he was looking for because how great he been running the ball. But they went with the pass yesterday, and they dropped a lot of balls yesterday, so that hurt them too.
Yeah, Winston wasn't sharp. Their receivers weren't sharp. They weren't sharp as a team. Takes nothing away from the Saints' victory.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the commentators made reference to it really in the first half. For a team that was locked into a playoff push, Kenny, at 6-6, trying to get over the 500 hump like the Saints have been, they just came out kind of uninspired, flat football. And I will say this defense plays a lot better. It's a more stable group with Donnell Ellerbe on the field. And, you know, they're a 4-1 with him on the field, healthy. They're 4-1, and that says a lot. One guy can make a difference.
Yeah, 1-7 without him, Rick, linebacker, as you are. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, and, you know, they got Spencer, so they got some good linebackers, but just looking at the Tampa Bay secondary yesterday, they was really disappointed. I mean, I know they got a lot of work to do over there.
Yeah, Brees picked them apart.
Yep.
You get Drew Brees time, he's still that guy. He's really good. And when you look at keys to victory, there are a lot of things you could point to in this game, but one is a compelling story, and that is the time of possession and the third down conversions. As I tweeted during the game, these were the 2 things that mattered the most in this game. Saints had the ball, the preponderance of the time, and look at third down. 70% conversions. Drew Brees was a magician on third down. Tampa Bay's defense could not get off the field. And then the pass to run balance in this game, Ricky, was outstanding. When you talk about running the ball more than you threw it, you know, basically about the same on balance. That's pretty impressive when you have that kind of balance, when you have nearly 50-50.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, a lot of people thought Spiller was going to get to run the ball a lot, but I said all the while, you know, Spiller's not a runner. He's not an inside runner. He's more of a receiver out the backfield.
Yeah. I'm not sure what he is at this stage, to be honest with you, based upon the way he's being used, if he can do much of anything. And I say that with all due respect because if he's ever going to touch the ball, this would have been it. But the guy that did touch the ball was perhaps the most compelling story of the game for the Saints. Tim Hightower, what a wonderful story. He hadn't played in an NFL game since 2011 until this year, and he had a career-high 28 rushes, workmanlike 85 yards, scored a touchdown, his first since 2011 when he was with the Washington Redskins. And he looked the part of an NFL running back, Brian. Ran hard. Blitz pickup was pretty good. He did a nice job. He missed one blitz pickup, but otherwise, I thought he did a really nice job.
He really did. And you know what? If you're going to take Mark Ingram out of the lineup, Tim Hightower exemplifies or plays a lot like Mark Ingram does, more so than C.J. Spiller. But you're right, Kenny. Tim Hightower is a great story. He's a wonderful human being, and the guy has worked hard to get back to this position. Regardless of what happens next season, this guy has proved that he can still play in this league.
You never give up, Rick. That's a perfect example of don't ever give up. This is a guy who hadn't played an NFL game in 4 years. He played a game in the fall experimental league, whatever that is, and here he is back in the NFL with the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, to have some knee injuries like he had and to fight his way back, I was really impressed with him yesterday. He hit the holes and went downhill, and that's what you're looking for. I mean, some of the runs he had, he didn't care who hit him. He was going to take them on, and he would just give his body up yesterday.
Guys, you know the thing that impressed me most about this win? One, it was on the road, but they went and made a good stop, forced Tampa Bay to punt with 4.5 minutes left, and then they ate the clock up. They had a 4-minute offense that we're accustomed to seeing but haven't seen in a while.
Well, they did something that they hadn't did all year, pound the ball, run the ball. And Coach see yesterday that Tampa couldn't stop the run, and he stayed with it. A lot of games they haven't been staying with the run, but you can see yesterday, 28 carries, he stayed with the run.
He did. Right. And then one of those conversions, again, one of the great stories, if not the best story of the year for the New Orleans Saints, is Benjamin Watson and the way he's played for this football team. On the one conversion, he catches the ball. He's short of the first down, but he doesn't give up. He's fighting, finally just stretches the ball out and gets the first down. What a great story this guy's been. 7 more catches. He belongs in the Pro Bowl. He should be the Saints Man of the Year. He should be the Walter Payton Award winner. You can't find a better guy than this on the field or off the field. He's like fine wine. I mean, he's been vintage this year on the field for New Orleans.
And Kenny, you're right. And if I had to give an MVP, I mean, Drew Brees is in his own world, okay? But an MVP to me is Ben Watson. What he's done, he's made people forget, seriously, he's made me forget about Jimmy Graham. He's just had a really steady, great season for a guy at his age that we weren't counting on him to deliver the numbers that he has, and he's done a great job.
Well, I tell you, he catch the ball better than I thought he did. I mean, I wasn't looking for him to have those kind of hands. And I can't say the little defensive back thought he had him, but he overpowered him and got the first down. So that was great. So guys like him and Willie Snead, they done came on and they done really been a plus for the Saints. You didn't think that you had nobody but look on your roster. You got 2 guys that are fighting and Hightower fighting. So you got a lot of guys that hungry and they fighting.
Yeah, Willie Snead is a great story in his own right. Carolina didn't want him. He's a practice squad guy for the Saints, and here he is having the kind of season he's had. He missed a game against Carolina, and the Saints played well against Carolina, nearly beat them. That team's still undefeated, looked great. And then they backed it up with a good performance, and Snead was back. He's a big part of this offense, Brian.
Yeah, you talk about the 2 guys we've just discussed, Willie Snead on offense and Donnell Ellerbe on defense. It just goes to show what guys that contribute on a regular basis, what kind of difference they can make on a team. Now, granted, Tampa Bay's a 500 team. They're just like the Saints are right now. They're not an elite team. But still, to go on the road and take care of business like the Saints did, I think it says a lot about their mindset. And hopefully it'll continue to carry over for the last 3 games.
And to win as an underdog, too.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, look like Tampa didn't take Saints seriously.
No, I agree.
Look like to me they were looking past the Saints. And whenever you look past the NFL team, they'll hit you in the mouth.
I agree.
They will. And then, of course, the other side of the coin, if you want to find anything negative, the defensive penalties on the Saints, again, who now have 51 penalties resulting in first downs this year. The NFL record all time in a single season is 58. That was set in 2011 by the Oakland Raiders. There's a chance that record could fall.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we got a lot more games left. And you look, so I look for that record to fall.
Well, you know what? The Ryan Wilson, he made 2 just idiotic penalties. I mean, just you want to just shake him and go, what are you thinking of? I felt like Brandon Browner had rubbed off on Ryan yesterday. And look, we're not, I mentioned Brandon Browner, but not in a bad vein, okay? Not in a horrible vein anyway, He didn't affect the outcome, and that's a good thing.
Well, what they did, too, they took him and blitzed him a little more, and that's what I was telling you all the while. You got to change his position. He got to be more like a strong safety. You can't have him as a cover guy so much. You got to have this guy attacking the quarterback. That way, somebody got to block him, he'll be accountable. So that's better for him.
And we didn't even mention Marcus Colston. Right. 71 career touchdown catches now. So good to see that guy.
Oh, yeah. Plays. I mean, old veteran like that got him 2 touchdowns. And I mean, And I'm just happy for him. I mean, he done been around here, and he done showed the people, you know, that he's a great player, and he's been a great player for a long time.
And more on that when we have our trivia question of the day coming up later in this show. We are at Premier Kia of Kenner, 2712 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie, in their new distinguished showroom. Premier Kenner is sure to have the exact vehicle you're looking for in this holiday season. Premier Kia of Kenner, the #1 dealer in South Louisiana, and has a #1 holiday sales event just for you this season. Go to premierkia.com. You won't be disappointed. We'll return to talk about the NFL as Sports NOLA TV continues.